Baby, it's Shaka being that mafioso that done died, the coldest ninja with an untucked swinging behind his back, aka Shaka Black, aka Shaka Fucker, aka SB Panther, aka Shaka Billionaire, aka Shaka Flame, man. And we finna react to a video with Pink Book Lessons, and it's about Terrence Crawford's mom, you know what I'm saying? And I love Pink Book Lessons. Like, I love her perspective on certain things, you know what I'm saying, about dating women and stuff, and I agree with her a lot of times. And it's like, it's not red pill talk because it's coming from a woman's perspective, you know what I'm saying? It's not pick me on none of that. So I love how the way things working out and the synchronicities of everything, how, you know what I'm saying, certain things intertwine, that she's actually dissecting the relationship that Terrence Crawford has with his mom, which, if you ever seen Terrence Crawford when he takes a dub, his mom's always dancing with him, and I always thought they had like a synergy or a connection with each other like Kanye and his mom had. But that's not the case. That's not the case, and it's crazy what drove Terrence Bud Crawford to be the boxer he is, and it comes from a dark place, man. Let's get into it.
Part of you give some of the credit to your mother, and I want to preface this with you and your mother have a very good relationship today. But I was reading the backstory about you, Terrence, and it broke my heart because it says
like,
that
when
your
I
mom,
see this, I think his
when you
mom
were a
was
little
supportive.
boy, would pay kids to try to beat you up. And I say try because nobody ever did. She would pay them $10 to beat you up. She would never hug you. She would never say, I love you. She would never encourage you. This was all part of the way to make you tougher.
That's insane, bruh. That's insane. So when I see Bud now and I see his stoic demeanor, he doesn't really show emotion and stuff, I'm starting to understand. It's really a deep drive. Let's get into it.
Did that work for you? And how did you feel as a little kid?
Well, my mom, you know, she deal with different traumas and
In her
different,
life.
things in her life. So that would led her to be that way that she is. You know, I love my mom. I'm a mama's boy.
That's crazy. Never getting hugs.
To hear the things that my mom used to say to me, and
no love.
the little kids that she used to try to get to beat me
you up.
and with the gloves and stuff like that. It just made me more hungry.
More hungry?
You know, hungry. Like, man, my mom going against me, I'm gonna prove her wrong.
That's wild. But you know, sometimes it's not that she wanted to see him. She wanted to see him. It's not that she hated her son. It's that she hated the man that she had her son with. And if he looks anything like his father, every time she's seen Crawford, she's seen the man that she low-key hated.
There are kids that are dealing with the same type of parenting.
That's
and
crazy, though.
They don't know why their mom or their dad doesn't validate them or tell them that they're proud of them. They look in the mirror and they don't feel full because they're not getting the same type of love. So
that's wild.
What would be your advice to those kids that might be growing up in a similar circumstance as you?
I don't know, it's kind of hard because every kid is different.
Right.
You know, I still deal with childhood trauma from those moments, from me and my mom. And me and my mom, you know, we've talked, we've got into it about it. You know, it's heartbreaking because, you know, that's the woman that birthed you. That's my first love, you know, it's my mom, you know, and for her to treat me the way that she was treating me, you know, not because of she didn't love me, it's because of what she was dealt with.
Right.
Hurt
people.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, some people aren't capable of love, and sometimes it's wishful. I mean, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think that's pretty sick, but some people aren't capable of love, and as a kid, you want to rationalize the things that your mother or your father would do that really wasn't out of love at all, but with the kid's eye or the son's eye or the daughter's eye, you rationalize the trauma that they're inflicting on you because you love them so much so that you wouldn't believe that they lack love for you. But let's keep going.
And it just like, I wouldn't wish that on no kid.
Undefeated champ Terrence Crawford made history on July 29th, 2023, clinching the undisputed welterweight title by defeating Errol Spence Jr., becoming the first male boxer to
Shout out
hold
Spence,
all
man.
4 major titles
He a
in
dog
2
still.
different
He still
weight
got that dog
classes.
in him.
The undisputed champ pulled up on the Breakfast Club to pay a visit to Charlamagne the God, who really went hard doubting him a month before the fight.
Right, I ain't really like how they was trying to do Crawford. I'm like, y'all don't really watch boxing, but Crawford's style is impeccable. And I was saying it before I knew it. I was like, this style is incredible. Like, I seen bro beating somebody ass in the corner. I mean, I think it was Kavaliauskas too, beating him down, bro. And Kavaliauskas was already done, but it inflict maximum damage mid punch. He switches stances to get the perfect angle and uppercuts him through the guard and finished him. I was like, that's crazy. Like Peyton Manning just called the audible in the middle of the, you know what I'm saying, and killed him.
Charlamagne did not believe that Crawford could beat Spence. Some may say that Charlamagne was borderline disrespectful, and Terrence got
That's
some
what Charlamagne
hit back.
does.
He arrived to the studio before Charlamagne, sat in his chair, and he made Charlamagne sit in the guest chair. He also made Charlamagne apologize.
Bud wanted to sit there. He deserved it. Bud wanted to sit in your seat.
Nah, for
Bud
real.
wanted to sit in your seat, and he said, "If you want him to move,
Hey.
you gotta make a move."
It must feel good. Hey, it must feel good to prove so many people wrong. Though.
No, he right where he needs to be.
I ain't gonna pause so
Ladies
many
and gentlemen,
times.
Congratulations,
we have the champion,
Congrats,
Charlamagne.
man.
Would you like to say anything?
I mean, I gave myself donkey of the day. I
Apologize.
Say sorry.
And say you're a loser.
Say it all.
Listen, I don't know if an apology is necessary, but I was dead wrong.
Say you sorry for being dead wrong. You got it.
I apologize.
Okay.
I apologize for picking Earl Spence over you.
Right.
Along with his exceptional boxing mind, Crawford from Omaha, Nebraska, he's got a level of humility and general respect that's out of this world. He gave some advice to Spence to take a little break, to recover mentally and physically, and get back into the ring, continue his boxing.
Yeah, Spence needs to just recover, bro. Like, don't just try to hop in and prove a point, bro. You only got one loss, man. I don't see, nobody really can see it happening that you know, it's anything but a career-ending defeat in a rematch. But you only got one loss, so just take it to the chin, bro. You still one of the GOATs. Well, you ain't a GOAT, but you still one of the best in the game right now.
Career, and said that it wasn't over for him. Crawford went on to say that he's already reached out to Spence just to make sure that he was doing well. Crawford said that he did not hate Spence. He's a Spence fan. It was all just business.
That's
and
real.
He would never want to take him away from his children.
Right.
Crawford also called out the media, putting out negative false information on him, and highlighted how wrong it is for commentators to just trash him, all because they're fans of another boxer. The
I
same day
don't
he
think they
interviewed
just
with the
like
Breakfast Club,
Crawford
he went around
off
the
the
media circuit in
optics.
New York City, where his mother was mentioned.
'Cause I ain't get it.
They called her hateful spirit towards her own son, unorthodox methods to push him to succeed. But truthfully, his mother was never pushing him to succeed.
Right. She was trying to destroy, bro. Nobody. If she had that much foresight to make somebody great and all that stuff, the way the method she used with Terrence Crawford, all her kids would have been successful and she would have been a millionaire. Let's be real. It's just he had the strength spiritually to, like judo, reverse the negativity that was poured onto him and turn him into this and turn him into one of the greatest fighters of this era, if not one of the best fighters in the history of boxing.
She wanted him to fail since he was a child. And it's funny how Crawford's #1 childhood enemy is somehow being credited as the person responsible for his success, really by this lame feminist media. It's beyond wild to me. Take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates. If you're watching from Omaha, Nebraska, or anywhere in Nebraska, definitely let me know. Shout out to Omaha.
Omaha, to me, is home.
Shakur gonna be a dog, boy.
I think that's where all the pain came from. When I go down to the neighborhoods that I grew up in, that just remind me and reflect back off where I came from.
3169 Larimore Street. Take me back to your block.
And that's where it all started at. Me going in the street, putting on the gloves, me fighting in the alleys. Just a typical bad kid running the neighborhood.
What did you say?
And listen, y'all do know that Crawford got shot in the back of the head, bro.
When he was born?
I remember he came out with his hands balled up. The son I wanted. His dad said we got $1 million baby boy.
My dad used to tell my mom I was gonna be a world champ.
I told him we wouldn't be
That's wild, bro. When I seen the relation, I mean, it just works differently for different people, right? Because when I watched the Kanye West documentary, bro, and I seen how the support of his mom really drove him to be one of the best, it's like the exact opposite in this situation. It's like the hate from his mom drove him to be the best. So
I can't even believe she just
good
said
thing
that.
it did too.
Imagine
that's
that.
crazy.
His dad said they had $1 million baby boy when he was born. And he did become a multimillionaire. When he was a young boy, his dad would speak life into him and tell him that he was going to be great. Meanwhile, his mother, the same one dancing in the ring right now, said that he wouldn't be nothing. He wouldn't be SHIT.
That's
and just
crazy.
imagine this. She repeated this his whole life.
Terrence's father, your husband, shipped out.
She's smiling too. I think Terrence Crawford's skills come from a deep-seated trauma, almost like Van Gogh or like brilliant painters who have these illnesses that drive them to be, or like Basquiat or something like that, who they have illnesses that are traumas that drive them to be great or make their perspective of what they do so different that it makes them a star instead of a planet in the solar system, where they really just got that energy, you know what I'm saying? And they got something that makes people gravitate towards them, or they got something that makes them shine above all others. And it's dope. It's dope in a way that's what'll make you laugh or make you cry type shit.
So now you're here with 3 kids. What was that like for you?
If Bud was around the corner fight, somebody gonna come tell me. I go around there, get him, snatch him up, and bring him home.
And
he know what time it was.
Of course, we don't know what she went through.
What kind of whooping?
Whooping with a belt.
Tell me about Deborah and Terrence. It's a complicated relationship.
Man, you know,
Bomac.
She has her own ways to motivate her son. She has her own way of loving her son. But they love each other, man. They're 2 peas in the pot together.
You kept telling him, "Are you never going to amount to anything?" Did you really believe it?
Some things that I said to him, I wanted him to be a man. And don't be afraid of nobody.
Telling somebody they ain't gonna be nothing is not toughening them up. It's demoralizing them. If bro didn't have if he didn't have the resilience and the mental fortitude to overcome that, the mental abuse that he had to endure as a kid, a weaker person would have got destroyed. There's a lot of people who have abusive parents and don't become anything, and never will become anything because they can't see what's good in them and fall off into the streets or fall off in this path and end up dead or end up in prison or end up on drugs. Like, it's not. This is an anomaly, but the average person going through that will definitely be destroyed by that.
I'm sorry. How is telling him that he won't be nothing going to make him a man? How is telling him that supposed to motivate him? No, what she was doing was breaking him down, just like a lot of these toxic mothers do to their sons and their daughters.
Right.
That's a hard lesson to learn. You're 12, 13.
Yeah, but he had to learn it.
And of course, we don't know what she went through or what environment she came from.
And every time I stepped foot in the ring or anything that I ever did, I just wanted to win so bad so I can prove a point to her.
How'd you think he'd do?
He did good because he was around here beating up everybody in the neighborhood. I paid the kids, I said, if y'all can whoop Bud, I give y'all $10 a piece. Could none whoop him.
You went out on the street
Yeah.
What's now Bud Crawford Street.
Yeah.
And
The kids
offer
in the
$10 to anyone who can kick my son's
Yeah.
butt.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of takers.
Yeah,
no
the
one
kids
can
in
do
the
it.
That's
neighborhood.
wild,
Couldn't
bro.
nobody whoop him.
What did he tell you then?
That's wild.
He told you, Mom, I told you I'm the best.
Did you catch that little jerk she did? Like, yeah, right. Or more like, whatever, he's not all that. That's the attitude she had about her own son.
What came first?
Man, it must have been a dude she was with. She just really didn't like him. And Crawford reminded her of that man she was with that she just could not stand. I don't know. I just don't see how you can be wicked to your own seed.
I think the mean came first. When I first started boxing, I just could fight. I couldn't box. All my coaches was like, he got heart. He ain't scared of nothing, he can fight. That's when they started teaching me technique and the art of boxing.
A good deal of what you remember in your childhood was you getting whooped all the time by your mom.
Damn.
And I was getting kicked out of school and doing bad things.
It also could be self-hatred, you know what I'm saying? Like, somebody who hate themselves have a kid, how can you expect them to love their child when they don't even love themselves, man?
Things. I think getting whooped, that just made me immune to pain.
Explain that to me.
Well, I was always getting in trouble. So I was always getting a whooping for something. So at a point in time, it just became numb to me. Well, it ain't gonna hurt. It ain't nothing but a belt or something.
First time it hurt though.
Yeah, I was a little kid.
And at some point, the whooping stopped.
Yeah, I wasn't having all that.
He was 13 when he said, Mom, you're not gonna whoop me no more. He took the belt from me.
I grabbed the belt and told her, you ain't about to hit me no more. All that's out the window. I ain't getting whooped no more.
Did that change you?
No, I think I got more respect, you know, from my mom.
You once told me I was fighting for her approval, for her to tell me she was proud or happy, but she never would, so I stayed angry. Explain that to me.
When she always telling you you're gonna lose or
That's crazy.
you're not good enough or you're gonna get your kicked or things like that, it's like, okay. When I win this tournament, she gonna say congratulations or good job or I'm proud of you. But it never happened.
And you can see it all over his face. This is very painful. She always said that he was going to lose.
What
But even
Pop
when he
said,
won,
man.
she still never acknowledged it.
That's
This is some deep hatred.
What he remembered.
Could be self-hatred, you know what I'm saying? And you see, he moved mountains just for, and I don't want to say solely based on the approval of his mother, but the start of his drive, the start of Terrence Crawford came from such a place of pain, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like MJ when he was getting abused by his father. It made him great, but it's no telling what long-term effects that would have on somebody's psyche. You know what I'm saying?
Numbers is all those years wanting for you to say,
I love you.
yes.
Yep. Yes.
And you didn't do it.
Nope. I grew
Oh,
up not
that's-
liking the
oh,
word. Why? I don't know. Never liked the hugs growing up as a kid. I never liked nobody to kiss me growing up as a kid, and it just grew with me as I got older.
It's giving sociopath.
I'm just wondering, what year did it stop growing with her?
But that's
Was it
bro
when he
mom,
became a
so
multimillionaire? Because she's hugging on him just fine right here.
Mm-hmm.
She hate that word. She said love is pain.
I'm just glad, man.
Her
You know what I'm
support
saying?
was in a different type of way, you know, it was in a negative way, but when I got older, I noticed that it was her negative way that pushed me to be great.
You still trying to prove something to your mom?
No, I think I already did all that. I proved stuff to myself.
Bro
Nah.
proved something to the
You're a
world.
father to 5. You never miss.
And we can get deep about it. It could, you know what I'm saying? When you grow up in an environment where there is no love, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I can draw back on what my grandparents and stuff have been through and stuff like that. It's like they don't come from a place where it's like love and hugs and kisses. You know, you come from a place where it's broken, everything around you is hell, and you got to figure your way out of it. And people try to push that to the side like it never happened, or you got people like, you know what I'm saying, Florida trying to rewrite what happened. But in the inception of his country, the people of Crawford's skin tone and my skin tone, we never had it easy. So it's not even that surprising, to be honest, that this is what he went through, because in some way or another, we all got an effed up story. All our grandparents got an effed up story which they came from. We just all don't end up being millionaires. And then you have something like the mass incarceration, or, you know, the drug epidemics and everything that plays a toll into what's really going on that they don't like to say or they don't like to tell, that unless you become definitely a Hall of Fame boxer or a rapper or a singer or something, they'll never know because they don't want to know. And you got to tell your story. So in some ways, I kind of relate to what's going on here with the mother and son dynamic between Terrence Crawford and his mom. And we're just not going to act like it's not other factors that played a role into the insensitivity that we see going on right now. You know what I'm saying?
A game, an appointment, any of that, even when you're here in camp. Why?
That's my responsibility, is to be there as their father.
Right.
You can't get those moments back.
Boy, he got 3 of them. Boy, all 3 of them right there. Hey, they finna be a problem in that ring if they box. They finna be a problem. She might even be a little problem. You know what I'm saying? You never know.
Why do you think being a father is so important?
Because his dad wasn't around like
right.
He's around his kids.
Cut it out. Trying to make somebody else out to be the villain when you're the villain. Why would your husband want to stay with you? This negative, nasty woman that hated herself and everyone else around her. I already know her attitude is what pushed him away. The only reason why the kids stayed is because they had no other choice.
When my child grow up,
I ain't gonna speak like that on my boy.
Dad was always in training camp. Dad was always
tripping.
On the road with boxing and the events. But Dad ain't never missed no birthday. Dad ain't never missed anything important. Dad was always there. And that's what they're gonna always remember.
Your mom ever tell you what a good father you are?
If he say no,
she said it before. Yeah, she said, "Bud, a great dad." Now I always check. I say I'm a great father. It's the difference.
Would you be Terrence Crawford, the champion we know, if it weren't
that's still
that
mama
dynamic
though?
with
That's
you
what
and
y'all
mom?
get.
I think
y'all need to listen to Dear Mama Tupac. And bro listen to Tupac. I remember him listening to Tupac before the Errol Spence fight. Y'all need to listen to Dear Mama Tupac. If y'all just super triggered by this or super just not understanding, that'll give you a good understanding.
Put the little extra fire, on top of the fire that I already had.
She going crazy for him right there though.
He made himself champion. I'm just proud of him because he's my son.
Right.
Now she's jumping up and down in the stands, hopping in the ring after his wins.
I ain't gonna go too hard because at sometimes just being unbiased, being an unbiased observer, she probably didn't. I don't want to say she probably didn't realize what she was doing, but she probably, I'll say it like this, she probably never seen men that gave her a good representation of something to be proud of, and finally seeing what a black man could become gave her a new perspective on what she's seen in the past. How about that?
40-0, undisputed champion, and the first man ever to do that twice in 2 different weight classes. 15 years after somebody shot through his window of his car and it hit his head, he overcame all of that to where he is right now, never feeling any love from his own mother. The lady literally rooted against him. He didn't make it because of his mother. He made it in spite of his mother. It was his own hard work and the training and guidance from the men who helped him. It's the wicked spirit.
It's a combination of everything.
Over this woman that would have been happy or satisfied with her son being 6 feet under or behind bars. But now she's dancing in the ring. The 35-year-old champ says he plans to retire on time and will not box forever so that he's able to enjoy all of his success and his hard work in retirement. Right
man, I'm
now,
trying to
he's
see
just
Shakur
looking
in that
forward to taking a
ring, boy.
vacation with his family and also
Get that
taking
boy
a
in the
deep-sea
ring, man.
fishing
Stop
trip.
ducking, bro.
You have to give it up to Terrence Crawford, the undisputed champ. Congratulations to him for all of his success, making history. The way that she would treat him, it made him so angry. And basically, he put all that anger into boxing.
Right.
But how many kids go through the same thing and they don't have boxing as their outlet?
That's true.
Where do they end up? They
dead
end
or
up
in
in the
jail.
streets, they become a nuisance to the community, and eventually they end up in prison. Because if he didn't have those trainers who put in work with him, that's where Terrence probably would have ended up. This last interview was at least 4 years old, but even in his recent interview, it's like they still want to find a way to give his mom credit for her toxicity. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started below in the comments. Let me know what you think about all of this.
Hey, that's Pink Book giving it to y'all from a woman's perspective, you know what I'm saying? In certain ways, as a man, you feel me, you can't be soft, so I feel her, but that's why I like Pink Book lessons, because she gonna keep it 100 about, you know, women. I'm not finna get on here and, you know, try to be relationship guru or woman guru or act like I understand everything everybody does, but that's a dope channel. That's one of my favorite channels on YouTube. So, and it's dope that she did something about boxing because it just intertwines so nice. So, man, y'all follow Pink Book Lessons, bro. She keep it 100%, bro, and she's really unbiased and really ain't with the gimmicks and stuff like that. So it's dope to respond to her video, and it still intertwines with what I do, you know what I'm saying? But it's Shaka being that mafioso that done died, the coldest ninja with an untucked swinger behind his back, aka Dr. Phil, aka SB Panther, aka Shaka Black, aka Shaka Fuego, aka Shaka Flame, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments down below, bro. It's kind of a wicked story, you know what I'm saying? I'm a little drunk. It's kind of a wicked story, but it's not even wicked, man. It's just y'all gotta understand. If y'all can relate, you can. If you can't, it's understandable. You feel me? But it's your boy signing out, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments down below about this, man. It's dislike, inscribe, subscribe, transcribe. Do what you do, man. Like it, subscribe, man. Let people know what's going on with the boy, man. We kept it real Dr. Philly, real philosophical, real intellectual on this one, bro, because this one, it's a pretty deep subject, bro, but it's still boxing, you know what I'm saying? So y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Peace.